Arriving. All right, welcome as people join us. Welcome. People are joining here and come on in to our Zoom. Welcome. We'll give it another minute for people to continue to attend and arrive. Glad you are here and give it another minute. Welcome to our Skidmore Zoom. Thank you for zooming in with us today, this evening, this morning, wherever this finds you. I am seeing if our Q&A is enabled or if we can use the chat. We can use the chat for questions, and that is perfectly fine. I don't see the Q&A. Yeah, that's okay. All right, people are arriving. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. We will give it another moment here, another 20 seconds or so, and then we can get started. Great. All right, why don't we get started? And we are recording this great program, so if you lose connectivity or if you have to leave us momentarily, we will send you the recording of this, and or if there's somebody in your family who couldn't be here, then we are happy to have you share that with them. But good morning from beautiful Saratoga Springs, New York. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever this recording finds you. And we are excited to have you join us and learn more about Skidmore College. We are excited this time of year. We are welcoming students who are already committed to our class of 2030. We look forward to meeting you. We look forward to also sharing more information with students who will apply next year or the year after to Skidmore College. So we're happy you are learning more about us. My name is Darren Drabeck. I am Associate Director of Admissions here at Skidmore. I'm also our Coordinator of International Student Recruitment and excited to get to know you. I'm excited to be joined by some great colleagues and friends from around campus, a couple of current students here, and my colleague Chloe Jalil, who is our Coordinator of International Student and Scholars Advising in our Learning Commons. And they're all going to introduce themselves here in a moment and tell them a little bit about themselves, and we'll get started. Why don't actually we get started with that? A couple of our students have to go to class soon, so we're going to give them a lot of airtime early in this presentation. But alphabetically by first name, Anvita, do you want to introduce yourself and to our friends online here? Welcome.
Sure, yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Anvita and I was born in the United States, but I grew up in India and I'm a first year at Skidmore. So I was actually on this call at the same time last year and now I'm on the other end, which is really cool. So I'm currently majoring in economics and business management and yeah, and outside of school, I am the coordinator of Diwani, which is a South Asian dance team, part of the South Asian Club Hayat on campus. Yeah.
Great. And Vasanti, you want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Vasanti. I'm come from Xi'an, China. I'm double major in the management and business and the English. And I usually do the my instrument 古筝 performance for the International Student Union and ACA Club. I also have a very fun experience in the Skidmore for the horseback riding class. It's the first time I learn and I ride a horse.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Even with that, I'll ask you some more questions later about the things you do, and also our guests can ask our students things that they do. Chloe, do you want to introduce yourself and your office a little bit and tell us a little bit about international students at Skidmore?
Sure. Thank you, Darren. So, good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. My name is Chloe Jalil. I'm the Associate Director of International Student Services here at Skidmore. And as Darren mentioned, that means I coordinate and support international student life here at the college. And that means a little bit of everything. Of course, I do F1 visa advisory advising for our students who hold F1 visas. But I also run a lot of the programming that happens here, from international student orientation to our amazing Friendship Family program that connects students to a local caring family, to all kinds of leadership development and academic success programs throughout the year. So I'm excited to be here this morning and to talk to you a little bit more, answer any questions you have about international student life here at Skidmore.
Great. And I'm going to just introduce Skidmore a little bit more to those who are still learning and getting excited about the Skidmore community. We are a diverse learning community of about 2,700 undergraduate students. We are an all undergraduate learning community, and our students might share with you as you get to know Skidmore better how they're excited that all of the facilities, all of the faculty energy, all of the resources for you at Skidmore is devoted to you, the undergraduate student. Our students do come to Skidmore from all over the world and all over the United States, and we're always proud of the representation of campus leadership that our international students play and the roles they play as leaders in some of the clubs that are very popular. With you heard students with Hayat and International Student Union and our clubs. But the Student Government Association president has been an international student and has a wonderful voice in our community. Academically, Skidmore's offerings are extremely broad, and the breadth of our academics are something that makes Skidmore a bit distinctive. We are one of the few top-tier liberal arts colleges that offer both Bachelor of Arts degrees and Bachelor of Science degrees. So students have the choice, depending on their major, of over 40 majors to choose from, but programs, some that lead to the Bachelor of Science degree that are more pre-professional in their focus, and some that lead to, the most of them lead to the Bachelor of Arts degree, which are representing all of the strong and popular liberal arts and sciences, the arts, the sciences, the humanities, the social sciences, and the laboratory sciences. 30% of our students are majoring in the STEM fields at Skidmore and the natural sciences. But STEM at Skidmore also includes economics degrees, the psychology degree, which is very important for students studying on a student visa for work permissions in the United States and potential opportunities after they graduate. The students and maybe Vasanti, I'll start with you. You have your declared majors in management, business, and English. How did you find your way to those? What was your pathway to your majors?
Before I came to Skidmore, I only think I will major in the business. Because I know the Skidmore have very strong business department in the liberal art college. So, and it was really awesome. We take the MB 107, which is making executive strategic plan for the true company. I made my double major, the English, later. Um, Before I came to college, I always enjoyed the reading, but I didn't consider it as a major until I meet very many special English professors.
Mhm.
My academic advisor, his name is Bekari Diaby. He would listen to, and in my writing class, I take with Professor Barbara Black and currently taking the Bronte family with Professor Catherine Golden. They're all full of love and passion. Precisely, this through their unique, respectful tone and manner, they usually ask, would anyone like to see and checking on us and pay attention even on our schedule outside the class.
Mhm.
So I really love this place because um, with a professor who genuinely likely to see the student, I really appreciate that. And I'm actually have a presentation from a Bronte class today. And after each of the presentations, the Professor Golden, she will bring us her homemade jam, which turning a presentation into something I really look forward to. So then let me see, within the clear structure and rules, there are also very genuine free expression. So I want to be a person who could think and expression. So even as an international student, I still doesn't feel good enough for my English, but I still throw myself in the ocean of the literature.
That's Vasani, thank you. And some great stories there. Certainly a reference to our small classes and the close connections with our faculty. Our average class size at Skidmore is only 16 students, but the student to faculty ratio is half of that at only 8 to 1. And stories like this we hear every day with the connection with faculty. Not every professor is an award-winning maker of jam, but Professor Golden is. I say award-winning. These are authentic awards at local fairs and competitions that she is well known for and gives away as prizes and rewards for great presentations. And Vasanti said, you were drawn to Skidmore because we do have a business major there. We are again one of just a few top tier liberal arts colleges where you can major in full business, not a connection to another department, but we have our full department and major of management and business, and it's very important to us. And Anvita, you're a little earlier in your career. You haven't declared your major officially probably yet, have you?
I just did
Oh,
declare my econ major last week.
you did last week. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
very exciting. So, yeah, towards the end of your first year, students can officially declare a major. And yeah, tell that was that your direction from the start? And then what else are you enjoying exploring?
Yeah, so I came to Skidmore knowing that I wanted to major in economics.
Mhm.
And I just started by taking like an intro to micro class, and it was amazing. My professor was super amazing, August Bruno. And yeah, from there, I just like kept taking econ classes every semester, and I'm currently doing macroeconomics. And yeah, I'm just like, they're one of my favorite classes. And yeah, this semester I thought I just took like IMB 107, which is the Intro to Business class, and I decided I would want to double major in economics and business because it's also very flexible and manageable because of how the there's a lot of classes in the two majors that overlap. So it's very yeah, it's a really good combination. And
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
Well, and we see this is, 2 for 2 on students who are doing a double something, double major, major minor. You're going to end up graduating. Not 100% of our students do that, but, well over half of our students will graduate with a double major, a major minor combination. It is quite popular. Skidmore is a community that encourages the opportunity to do both, to have that opportunity to pursue two passions. Maybe that's a passion in music and it's a passion in science. It's a passion in business. It's a passion in English. You don't have to give up one for the other. And that interest, that dual interest of our students really shines as well when you see the list of more popular majors every year. That great diversity and breadth in our curriculum is showcased. English and business are often 1 and 2, which some people would put at opposite ends of an academic spectrum. Psychology is a quick 1, 2, 3, kind of in that mix. But biology, studio art, and political science make up 3 more that represent our top 6 typically more popular majors. And that's exciting to find at Skidmore because you have the arts represented, the sciences, and a pre-professional program such as business represented. And those are 3 of Skidmore's kind of traditional strengths over the years, and that's very exciting. The fine and performing arts are alive and well here. Creativity is a strength of our community as well. Chloe, could you kind of reflect a little bit on the students you work with in terms of how they balance their majors, minors, their academic work within their context of their studies here?
Yes, oh, I'd love to. So, one of my favorite things about working with what I like to call global Skidmore students with a global footprint and or of course also our F1 visa students They're some of the most ambitious and enthusiastic students here on campus, if you ask me. They tend to dive in and really embrace the liberal arts model, that opportunity to explore programs, topics that they might not have thought they would be interested in studying. So it's a really exciting thing for me to witness. And part of my job here is to help students find the right balance so they can really follow their ambitions and passions, but also make sure that they are staying well-rounded, and self-care is very important in the mix. And we actually start that support process right during international student orientation, which I want to put in a plug and say that is, of course, expected for all F1 visa students, but we also welcome students who may be US passport holders but live abroad, or perhaps are dual degree students. So we really invite the full spectrum of Global Skidmore to join us. And then we match you with what we call a global mentor, which is an upper class student. They're handpicked by the Learning Commons, and they're some of the warmest and most enthusiastic students you'll meet at Skidmore. And they sort of start the process of helping students see, all right, here's how we can sort of do it all, right? We want you to go to the club fair when you arrive, get to know the most amazing student organizations and all of the work that they're doing and the fun that they're having here at Skidmore. Leadership development starts often among those, with those clubs and participation in them. And then, of course, students will work with me throughout their time here, learning about time management and all the additional leadership development opportunities, being a peer health educator, perhaps. We've had a lot of international students who lean into that leadership opportunity on campus. Of course, many of them become global mentors themselves. Become a peer academic coach if you excel in or just love a particular academic topic. There's so much to explore here, and it's really a joy to watch our international students get so involved on campus. I think Darren mentioned this in the beginning. They're hugely well represented, our international students, in leadership activities, club life at Skidmore, academic support life, including becoming peer academic coaches, getting to research opportunities with faculty that can be done during the summer or even during the semester. Landing that first internship the summer after you arrive it's such an exciting thing to watch. And I'm here to help just with the balance and also just the knowledge of opportunities on campus. And we start that right from your first year here at Skidmore.
That's great. And students are busy at Skidmore and they're supported and they learn to balance. Again, and another advantage of attending an all undergraduate community with a lot of attention on our students and concern and care. This is a community of care that will support our students every step of the way. Love to share a little bit more about our campus and our location here in beautiful Saratoga Springs, New York. This is a very green campus in many senses of the word. We have a real deep commitment to sustainability and a care for our natural resources around us. We are surrounded by incredible natural beauty and natural resources just at the edge of beautiful Saratoga Springs, New York, which if you've done your research, you've learned a little bit about how famous Saratoga Springs is as a summer resort community, but it is also a wonderful college town and a university community that embraces our students and welcomes our students during the school year. Anvita and Vasanti, you want to share a little bit about something you love about our location that you've enjoyed so far? Maybe I'll let Vasanti go first and then Anvita after. Yeah.
I take so many pictures about the branches, about the trees when I was a freshman. And also I take so many right now. But one thing I really like is the snow. It's in my city, it doesn't have such big snow as in Saratoga. In the January, I was go outside to play with snow with my friend. Like we're rolling on the snow, and I put my face on the snow, so there is like a mask of my face. So it was really fun, and Birds. There are many birds like the blue jay, the robin, and many colorful birds. I don't know their name. And the sunset.
Hmm.
And also in the autumn, all the leaves are falling down. You also could rolling on the leaves. So, and in our North Woods
Hmm.
and the forest, I call it
Hmm.
small forest, as you can randomly hug a tree. At that moment, it will feel really quiet and peaceful.
Yeah. You've described our four seasons all in one mention. We do love the four beautiful seasons that we have. We had a beautiful winter this year with plenty of snow. The leaves change beautiful golden, red, yellow colors in the autumn, in October. One of our tallest buildings on campus, and it's kind of in the upper left quadrant of this image, Johnson Tower. And if you're lucky to have a room on the higher floors, you get an incredible view of sunsets and of the forest around you, and especially when the leaves start changing colors. It's beautiful. We have several hundred acres of forest land that the college takes care of. You can have a job on campus taking care of our forest, taking care of the North Woods. You can have a job on campus taking care of the composting projects or working in the student garden. These are other initiatives that are important to us, that our students enjoy. And the Adirondack Mountains, you might read about in our region, are just to our north, and very easy to take casual hikes or very rugged outdoor activities and trips into the Adirondack Mountains. Only 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on how far you wish to go into that beautiful area. Anvita, your first year here, what do you love about our area?
Saratoga Springs is a beautiful small town, and it has so many like cozy, gorgeous cafes that my friends and I go to almost every weekend. So yeah, we've like tried so many of the cafes downtown, actually, now that I think about it. And we like going there, doing work, school work there.
Mhm.
And actually, Uncommon Grounds is in that photo.
Yeah, yes,
You
it
see it?
is.
Yeah. And yeah, there's also this very cool place, Saratoga Tea and Honey, and
Mhm.
they have some amazing honey there. And I actually took a bottle of honey home last time over winter break, and my parents always mention it every time they eat it. Yeah, and when it's during the summers when the weather is warm or even during like fall, what I love doing is going on a run with the run club here on campus. And we go on this run from campus to downtown and back, and it's just about like 2 miles, like front and back. And it's,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm very excited to do that next semester when it's, yeah, beautiful weather.
Yeah.
It's also getting warm now, so yeah.
This is a very popular running community. So if anybody in the audience likes to run for fitness, there's a half marathon that's scheduled for our community, 13.1 miles. Put that in kilometers, where we got 20 plus kilometers, for a half marathon that's going to be run in September, organized by a local running store. There's the beautiful Spa State Park, which is at the southern end of our community. That's another great run on Vita, from campus to the Spa State Park and then back a little further, which is a great, beautiful running trails and roads there. It's a safe community. It's a our students feel safe. You can look at Google Maps, Google Earth, and do the street view from this spot downtown up to our campus or back and forth, and you can see there's sidewalks all the way. There's beautiful homes that line the streets in a safe neighborhood that we're located in. Um, there's also public transportation around the area and access to New York City or Boston. Have either of you been to New York City or Boston during your semester, your time this year?
Yes, spring break.
Yes, you did a
Yes.
lot of tra you did a
Yeah,
lot of traveling,
yeah, I
and
did
you
that
can
in New
go by
York City.
train. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very accessible. So there's a train, there's the Amtrak from Saratoga Springs, or you can take a flight from Albany International Airport, which
Mhm.
is also pretty close by.
Mhm.
It's just like a 30-minute drive from
Mhm.
campus, and Yeah, it's access to Montreal, New York City, and Boston is very accessible. My Some of my friends are going to Montreal this weekend. So there's just people always like, one weekend you can just go to Boston, one weekend you just go to New York City, and it's very convenient
Yeah.
to
Even
travel.
some of our classes take field trips. And field trips don't end in high school, as students at Skidmore will say. Vasanti, how have you used the region and the wider region?
Mm. Okay, one Friday, me and my friend are going to the New York and we stay one day and we came back.
Nice.
And the airport of the Albany is like a small museum. It have the music. It was kind of cute.
You're actually right. They do have art installations in the Albany International Airport right there. There's hub travel from Albany to any of the major hub cities in the eastern part of the United States. And then next Wednesday, I'm traveling and I'm taking the train from Albany to New York City, and then I'll get a flight in Newark and head overseas to an international destination. So that's very easy for travel, but sometimes I'll fly from Albany to Chicago to wherever, or Albany to Detroit to wherever. Chloe, go ahead.
And Darren, if I can jump in, I
Yeah.
just want to give a shout out to the amazing International Student Union, always innovating, always creating amazing programs for international students. And this weekend, they're actually doing what has become, I think, an annual tradition of taking a bus trip to Washington, D.C., an amazing city to visit, such a global city. And a bunch of international students, as Anvita mentioned, went to Montreal, Boston, New York City over spring break, and even just for a weekend day trip. I'll also put in a quick plug for the International Friendship Family Program that we offer to any student who's part of Global Skidmore, because the International Friendship Family Program, those families love to take students on day trips to the Adirondacks. I get the sweetest photographs from students. Look, here I am apple picking with my Friendship Family Program. Oh, look, I learned to snowboard or to ski, or I went tubing in the winter, which is a really fun activity with my Friendship Family Program. So it's not just about connecting with a local or Skidmore family, it's about getting to know Saratoga Springs and the greater area better. And it's a wonderful program.
Yeah, our location is exciting because of our proximity to Boston and New York City. We also are fortunate to have alumni visit campus very easily to speak to our students, to meet our students. Boston, New York City, Los Angeles tend to be the three most popular cities for our alumni to live, our largest alumni chapters. We have also been San Francisco and Chicago, Denver, any major cities around the world. There's an alumni program happening in London in a couple of weeks. And major cities around the world, you will find Skidmore graduates living. But those cities that are very close allow our students to travel there to meet with their network, but also for alumni to return to campus and share their experiences with our students. Nice. I'm going to be respectful of our time. Our students are heading out to get to their class. Vasanti, good luck with your presentation. And Chloe and I are going to stay here. I'm going to continue on with a little bit more information about Skidmore, and then we want to answer your questions as well as we talk more about Skidmore. But any last words from our students? You want to say anything encouraging about Skidmore, about what do you want to share with prospective
Yeah,
students?
I need to share like why attracted by the Skidmore, like my story. So at the first, when I first opened the Skidmore's website, I saw the creative thoughts matter. At that point, I really like it because this sentences means the school is not teaching you to be one person, but inviting you to be yourself, to thinking, to explore. So I feel to be such a school have an inside stability and confidence. It have it have the energy to encourage other people. And while I stay in Skidmore, it's an experience of I'm being heard. At the beginning of every semester, I will went to a, nearly many of my professors' office hour we're not only talk about our class, but sometimes some questions really open, like what is love? Like how is parenting show up in the novel Frankenstein? And I also will talk about the story in my statistic and business class to my English academic advisor. So that feeling of being heard is really important to me. It let me feel I'm being alive, and here is a place who people really truly communicate with you. And also, if any of student will take the EN 103 with Professor that knows, the sample essay is from me, one of them. So that's for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasanthi. And Vita, any final words?
Yeah, I love Skidmore so much because of its community, mostly because it's a small community, and it offers like a great flexibility with what you want to major in. You don't have to know what you want to major in when you come to Skidmore, because like you only declare in your second year spring, and it's so flexible when you can major in like studio art and economics and like biology and music, and yeah, they have some really cool combinations. And what's kept me here is the people here, the faculty, the staff, my friends. They're all very kind people and very approachable. And the student community is genuinely supportive. Yeah, it's such a welcoming community, and it has made my experience incredible so far. So, yeah.
Well, and it's students like you who also are mentors already to other students, and you will continue to be. And we appreciate everything you do. Thank you for your little time here, and
Thank you.
happy Thursday. And enjoy your classes. And we'll let you go off to class, and Chloe and I will keep on. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you,
Great.
everyone.
And I will also say too, if you have questions so far that we can answer for you, throw them in the chat and we'll get to those. I wanted to share a little bit, just briefly for the prospective students that are here today learning about Skidmore, very briefly about the admissions process that you will continue to learn about, and we will share with you and keeping in touch with you before you apply. We use the common application or the coalition application to apply. We make it easy on you. We don't require any supplements. We don't require an application fee. The personal statement, which is part of those two applications, is exciting for us to read and learn about you. That is the longest form of writing that we'll ask of you in the application, and it's a wonderful way for us to get to know you. We read every single one of those personal statements and really see how you align with Skidmore, and that's and we'd love for you to tell your story through those personal statements as well. We've remained SAT, ACT optional for many, many years, over a dozen years now that we have not required one of those exams. You are certainly welcome to submit a test score, an SAT or ACT score, and it can enhance your application. It can have a positive impact on your application, but with no test score, your application is certainly complete. And in recent years, about 60% of our students who enroll were offered admission without the SAT or the ACT. Some students can submit it later. You can use it for placement purposes in our English classes or our quantitative courses, but you can always submit it after you've been admitted and it was no part of your application itself. What we would require the Duolingo, a TOEFL exam, or an IELTS score as part of your application, as long as if you are a non-U.S. citizen, that would be required unless your first language is English and all of your education, secondary education, has been in English. But if you're taking those tests for any school, even if you think you might qualify to have a waiver, might as well send it on, and it can strengthen your application too. The Duolingo English test is the easiest test to access and the least expensive and the quickest to send. So that's one of the most popular exams that we tend to see from the applications. We also offer you the opportunity to tell us your story, tell us more about you in the form of the initial view or the Vericant video interviews. These are opportunities for you you to record an interview with someone and then send it to any college to which you're applying. So these are not interviews specific to Skidmore or to specific to a university. They are generally about you. And we love these. They share your personality. They share your more of your background, your passions. You get to talk about your passions and explore those topics. And we watch those. Chloe and I share those. Chloe sees those as well. That helps us get to know students even before you've arrived, which is exciting as well. And so those are an optional part of the application. And then very briefly, but again, we'll send you more information about deadlines and applications throughout the year prior to applying. We do offer early decision applications, round one or round two, and then regular decision. And the majority of our applications do come through regular decision, but about half of our students every year tend to enroll through early decision. And that's kind of exciting because that's students that have decided early on that Skidmore is their top choice, and they've become excited and passionate about Skidmore. And so applying in November or January, and you get an early decision from us. It is a binding application process, and so you are making a commitment to enroll if you apply at that point, and we make a commitment to you if we've offered you admission. And if you're applying for financial aid, we will meet 100% of your demonstrated need, and we do that in early decision as well as regular decision. And so if you want to know if a Skidmore is affordable to you with scholarship, you can, and you're considering early decision, you also can seek an early financial aid estimate before applying, but knowing that we will commit to meeting your full need and therefore make Skidmore affordable with scholarship to your family in early decision as well as regular decision. And I think that's that, but I'm going to then make sure let's open the chat and I'll leave that up for a little bit. But what questions can we see there? Chloe's maybe seeing some of these things here too.
I am. I'm seeing three questions, great questions about campus jobs
Yeah,
being matched with roommates and class registration.
there you go.
Darren, if you want, I can start and we
Yeah,
can we
go
can
ahead.
tag team. So those are really terrific questions. So campus jobs can begin as early as your first year at Skidmore. Amazing you asked if you're allowed to have more than one job. Yes, Skidmore students can certainly have more than one job. If you're here on a student visa, you can work. There's a cap on how many hours per week it is. It's 20, which is honestly more than you'll need because you'll be busy with classes and all the other activities that you'll be engaged in. And if you're a financial aid student, I'll say that some financial aid packages come with the encouragement to work on campus in the form of what we call a work-study job. That's a terrific position to be in here at Skidmore because there is some priority given to work-study applicants to make sure that those students who have financial need can be prioritized for campus jobs. But lots of opportunities starting from your first year. In terms of being matched with a roommate, there is a housing survey that Residential Life sends out to students. Please do fill that out thoughtfully and honestly. That helps Residential Life match you with a roommate who's going to be aligned with your habits and interests as well. So that's the matching process that happens over the summer before you enter in the fall. And then finally, one other question, registering for courses. So the summer before you start at Skidmore is such an exciting time. You're matched with a faculty advisor who can help walk you through the process of understanding all college requirements, but also some exciting electives that are available to you starting right away. So you do pick your classes over the summer after that advising conversation. And even as students have sometimes reached out to me, I'm always happy to help with guidance about how to pick classes. The Scribner seminar is one of my favorite classes offered at Skidmore, in part because so many of our international students will say to me, you know, I came in planning to be an econ major, but then my Scribner seminar professor is from the sociology department, and that was class was so passionately taught. Okay, now I'm a double major in sociology. So the Scribner seminar is a cornerstone of our first year experience program and one of my personal favorites. So you get to choose your Scribner seminar and then round out the remaining classes after talking to your faculty summer advisor.
And typically in a semester at Skidmore, students will enroll in 4 classes, sometimes 5. Another question I love asking students, I could have had them just tell us their schedule, which was great. Anditha was heading off to a class about the Himalayas, an Asian studies course that she's taking this semester, taught by a faculty member in Asian studies department, art history focus as well. And I guess Vasanthi did say she was heading to the Bronte sisters class for her presentation. But incredibly diverse range of courses that are offered here. But four classes every semester, including that first semester, and one would be your Scribner seminar, which is as Chloe said, a cornerstone to the first year experience. It's part of our breadth requirements, our all college requirements. But the 3 remaining classes that you might have on your schedule could be Introduction to Psychology, Introduction to Economics, and maybe Italian class. How about studying Italian your first semester? If you've never studied that language before, you could. And then the following semester, if you enjoyed your psychology class and you wanted to pursue that, you would take another psychology course, maybe even 2 in your second semester if you wanted to, or maybe you're interested in both psychology and history, so then you need to take an introductory course in the history department that second semester. And then you kind of scaffold on top to develop your interests. And some students might continue to follow 2 departments, 1 or 2 classes each semester in those departments to become a double major. Or maybe you say there's one and then the other one, no, I'm not as interested, and maybe it's a minor for me. But very rarely will students take 4 classes in all one subject area. Because the students are exploring, students are interested in 2 different majors, so they want to be taking different classes. Especially in the laboratory sciences, you typically might only ever have 2 laboratory science classes in one semester, even if you're a biochem major or a neuroscience major. But then your other 2 classes, it's good to have balance. And Chloe and her colleagues and other academic advisors will speak to students about having balance in their schedule, and whatever balance means to you, and whether that's sciences and humanities, or if that's arts and social sciences, kind of balancing those out every semester in your program. Um,
Yeah. Oh,
Go ahead.
Darren, if I can just
Yeah.
jump in to add, because one of the questions was also about flexibility to explore.
Mhm.
And I think one of the coolest things about going to a small liberal arts college like Skidmore is we don't just offer flexibility to explore different subjects, we frankly encourage it. That's really what I like to say to students, I want you to Skidmore to the fullest while you are here. And one of the reason I love those breadth, what we sometimes call them all college requirements, is they really encourage students to try something new. So to fulfill your arts requirement, you don't have to paint. You might always have wanted to paint, but maybe there's a photography class or a dance class that you'd like to explore. There's just a thousand different ways to try subjects that you've never experienced. And there's no better way than to how to decide what you'd like to do after Skidmore than by trying. We have students who've taken the MB 107 class and just fallen in love with business, even if they weren't planning to major in business. So yes, not just flexibility, but encouragement to explore lots of different subject areas.
Yeah. And the other parts of our core curriculum include coursework in the sciences, in the arts, in the humanities, the language I mentioned. Every student takes one semester of any language that you wish, and it could be a language that you're already proficient in and you want to take it at the higher level, or you want to start something brand new. 50% of our students will study abroad. They'll study away from Skidmore for a semester, maybe even 2 semesters if your schedule and your program allows for it. Some of our majors require a study abroad experience, and students can engage in that. Any scholarship of financial aid will travel with any student to any of our pre-approved programs of study abroad. We also have a great partnership with American University in Washington, D.C. And so spending an entire semester, we have international students on that program right now who have chosen that that's a great city to spend, another American city to spend a semester in. Maybe traveling outside the United States while you're here isn't what you want to do. And so staying in the U.S. for a semester is perfectly awesome and appropriate. And you don't have to be a political science major to enjoy and engage in a Washington, D.C. semester. We have art history majors who go there and have an internship at one of the Smithsonian galleries or one of the famous arts or cultural institutions in Washington, D.C. And that's a required component of the program is an internship, which is exciting for our students to have a full semester internship somewhere in DC, which is great. But many opportunities around the world. Go ahead, Gloy.
Well, you're listening to you mentioning study abroad is inspiring me to also mention a really cool opportunity we offer here at Skidmore with 2 outstanding institutions. We have the 3-2 dual degree program that we offer for students in partnership with RPI and with Dartmouth. And every single cohort usually has at least one international student who's participating. We have several international students participating right now. RPI is not far from Skidmore, right here in, I believe, Troy, New York, a really fun, great city to explore. And Dartmouth over in Hanover, New Hampshire, another exceptional school. Our dual degree students essentially end up with 2 college degrees. It's an outstanding program. It's a 5-year program. And always we have some of our Global Skidmore students interested in it. So lots of opportunity to learn more about that once you're here as well.
Yeah. What other questions does anybody have and want to ask us while we have a little bit more time or keeping an eye on the time? We respect your time. If it's late at night or early morning for you, we're happy to recognize that. But any other questions that we can share with you?
Darren, while we're
Go ahead.
waiting for additional questions, I want to also come back to a theme you mentioned before, which is our amazing alumni.
Mhm.
Over the last couple of years, I'm always looking at ways to innovate our student programming, and I've really been leaning into alumni connections for our students. So something I'm really excited about is this spring, 2026. I created and launched a new class for Skidmore students that I'm calling Global Leaders Incubator. And that's entirely inspired by our Global Skidmore students who have helped me understand how committed all of you are to becoming the future leaders of the world. And so that's a leadership development class, but a key component of that class is I will match every student in the class with a Skidmore alumni who is already living, working, thriving in your professional field of interest. And I've just been incredibly gratified and it's been heartwarming how many Skidmore alum, thanks in part to Darren's good recommendations for alumni to connect with, have just responded with enormous enthusiasm. Yes, I would love to speak to a current Skidmore student about launching themselves into the clinical psychology field or business or economics or studio art. It's just an amazing opportunity. And we also have mentoring opportunities available throughout the year, opportunities to connect with Skidmore alumni over Zoom or sometimes in person, because as Darren mentioned, we have so many who are here still living and working on OPT or beyond in the Northeast. And our alumni have just really embraced these opportunities to help and connect with current students.
Hmm. Yep. And an exciting part of my job and my work when I'm traveling to meet prospective students and visit high schools around the world is that in many of the capital cities that I visit, I can meet some Skidmore alumni and have a chance to engage personally with the students and in person with the graduates and the Skidmore community is thriving around the world. And again, you'll find our graduates in most capital cities and large cities and small cities all over the world doing amazing things. I love a very functional question coming in about being able to pay for living and tuition on campus, and that is there are monthly payment plans that can be set up before and you'll students who are enrolled and will receive some information about that. Those payments usually run from I think June to June, or they get those set up in even in the summer, and that's through the bursar's office, an office that handles the billing and the payments and things like that. But that's certainly a possibility. International wiring using some of the technology makes it quite easy for families to make those payments. Going back to kind of the work and the employment for students on campus, that money is your kind of your spending money, your pocket money, as that you earn. That money is not typically does not need to be directed back towards your tuition or your campus living expenses usually. And also to say that any student can have a job on campus any of your years and can earn some of their pocket money that way while they're on campus. Um, Great
Darren,
question
if I
about,
may.
yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry,
Continue.
there's another great question coming in about
Yeah.
STEM research opportunities at
Yep.
Skidmore and also support for searching. So I'm going to put in a plug for two amazing resources on campus. Of course, our outstanding top-notch faculty who love working with students. You are why they are here. We have ambitious, hardworking students, first-year students who have landed research opportunities with STEM and other faculty over the summer after their first year. So speak up, work hard, and those opportunities are there for you. Again, very hard to match at a big university where undergraduate students are not the focus or not the sole focus, right? You're getting competition from graduate students who really need those research opportunities. But here at Skidmore, those are yours for the taking. And in STEM, of course, chemistry, biology, we have lots of pre-med students, but also in other areas, sociology, psychology. So it's all about connecting with those faculty, expressing interest in research opportunities, and there's a clear pathway for you here at Skidmore to those leadership and skills opportunities. I would also say our Career Development Center, which by the way is yours for life. If you are a Skidmore student and you've graduated, you're maybe 5 years out, you can call the Career Development Center and say, I'd love to get a consultation, an alumni consultation. It's yours for free. I'm planning to pivot in my career. So keep in mind that some of the resources you get being a student here, you actually get to keep with you for the rest of your life. But career development, that team is also committed to helping you locate internships, prepare you to successfully land that internship. We have free resume review. We have interview prep. We have all kinds of opportunities for you to polish and burnish yourself as a candidate. And also, I'll also put in a plug for me and my colleague Subhan, who our sole focus here at Skidmore is international students. And we also do a lot of work, again, connecting Skidmore students to alumni to make sure that you hear about those internship opportunities. There's so many friendly people here wanting to support you in leadership and career development, and faculty and our Career Development Center are in the lead there.
Yeah. The research in any department or any field can begin as early as the second semester of your first year. So once you've taken the gateway class in any department, you may be eligible to register in your very next semester in a one credit, which is kind of a portion of a class. Most of our classes at Skidmore carry 4 credits or 3 credits. So a one credit is, as you can imagine, an add-on to your schedule and can introduce you to research, introduce you to the equipment, to the discipline, to the department, and that's your next step and your gateway to more research. And then every semester after that, you could add 1, 2, 3, or 4 credits of research to your schedule. By your senior year, that could be 2 of your classes would just be doing research. But every summer, we have over 100 students on our campus engaging in collaborative faculty research, student faculty collaborative research on campus. When you are selected for that such opportunity, your room and your board, your housing and your food is covered by the grant typically for the research, and you get to enjoy some beautiful weeks in Saratoga Springs in the summertime, which is an incredible opportunity. But you can treat that like a full-time job in the summer. You get many of those research experiences include a stipend, and so that is your job in the summer, and that's in all disciplines, not just the sciences and STEM, but also in the social sciences and humanities. Skidmore also offers other types of stipends for unpaid internships. So perhaps you will earn an internship. You'll be hired for an internship, but it doesn't have a salary to it or payment. And so you can apply to Skidmore for some different pockets and resources, pools of money to then supplement that and give you the stipend for being able to do that internship experience. Some of those are department driven. Some of those are more general as well. You make an application to those opportunities. Chloe, do you want to share just briefly about the Davis Projects for Peace grant, which is an incredible
Yes.
opportunity for students every summer?
Yes, absolutely. So by the way, I didn't mention when I introduced myself, but I am the campus liaison for our Davis UWC scholars, and have the great pleasure of working for all 4 years with our UWC scholars studying here at Skidmore. And because we are a Davis UWC scholars partner school, any Skidmore student, any at all, is eligible to apply for the $10,000 Projects for Peace grant, which is an amazing opportunity for a student to develop an idea of their own. The project that you develop can take place absolutely anywhere in the world. And every year we have international students who apply for that. And many of those students have been our winners. In fact, this summer we have an international student going home to Nepal to do his Projects for Peace. And I also would like to say that if you are a Projects for Peace winner during your 4 years here at Skidmore, you then become eligible for a brand new $50,000 Skidmore, or rather, I should say, Projects for Peace Alumni Award. That in fact, the very first year that the Projects for Peace program offered that, it was won by a Skidmore alum. So we were so excited about that. That happened just a couple of years ago. So the Projects for Peace is an amazing leadership development program, but it's also a pipeline to this amazing network of peace builders and change makers all over the world. Once you've won that Projects for Peace, you get to be connected to that network, living and working all over the world. As Darren mentioned, we also have the Summer Experience Fund that is available to fund a wonderful unpaid experience that you'd like to have over a summer anywhere in the world. We also have the See Beyond Fund that you can apply to. So we have extraordinary opportunities for students in terms of helping you get out into the world and do great work. That are available annually. And in fact, most of them you can apply to repeatedly. And again, our international students are incredibly well represented as winners for those opportunities.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you, Chloe, for your time. I'll publicly thank our students who had to rush off to be academic students as they are. Um, we are happy to keep in touch with any of you, and it's easy to find us. We would be happy to put you in touch with students if you have questions that are best for a student to answer. We thank you very much for sharing some time in your morning or evening with us. And thank you very much. And for those who are still learning more about Skidmore, we look forward to reading your applications eventually someday. Those who are joining us in our class of 2030, we will see you in August. And this is great. Thank you very much, Chloe. Thank you, everybody.
It was a
Bye-bye.
pleasure. Nice to meet all of you.